So in the previous class, we were discussing about your components of your Power BI. So, so we also installed your Power BI, and also just we explored the look and feel of your Power BI desktop, right? Okay, the same thing today. We'll try to just get into that. Okay, so I just again click on your this is your home page. Click on your blank report. So now, as we also discussed the structure of your sample superstore data, right? So which is stored in your Excel file, right? So this is your sample superstore data, okay, which is stored in your Excel file. So where we are storing orders information, orders in the order sheet, then return sheets, then we have users information. Basically, who is a manager for which region, right? So this is the information what our data set has. Okay. Now, apart from this orders information, like your order ID, order ID, sales, profit, shipment date, order date, and all, we have customer information like customer segment, region, city to which belongs to, then product information, product name, and all these things. That is, it is a collection of different information. So in your data set regarding your orders, products, and customers. So this is what we understand your data set. So before loading your data set, please try to understand your data set. Okay, fine. So then let's minimize this data set. So then what we do, see where it is storing, basically this data set is stored in the local file. Basically, it is stored in the local file in your CSV system, right? Now, this will act as the data source for my Power BI. So, how can I extract, how can I connect to that Excel system in my local file? One thing is directly I can click on this. I have an option on the canvas, import from the data, or just click on get data, then click on more, get into file, something called as file. Okay, now here you can connect to your Excel file. So just click on connect. Okay, so it will ask so to connect your sample superstore. Okay, so just it is connecting to the sample superstore data that is stored in the Excel file. Now see here, each and every sheet is converted into a table in your Power BI. Basically, now this is your orders table. Okay, so where you can just explore the data, what are the columns, what are the just you can view the data. Then returns table, if you want to export return table also you can do. If you want to import your users table also, yes, you can do that. Now see here, we have three options here. So what is that? Load option. Then we have transform data option. Okay. Now what is this? If you click on this load option, this complete all these tables they get loaded to your data pane of your Power BI desktop. But it is not a good practice in general to directly load this raw data to your desktop. Okay. 1 minute. So basically, it is raw data. So basically, the raw data contains a number of irregularities. For example, I'll show you one irregularity. The column names here, they are not in a proper format. They are telling that is a column 1, column 2. Actually, it should be region and manager. It should be like this, region and manager. Fine, but they are using as a row. So this is one of the irregularity. So there are many irregularities in the system, which suppose if I directly load this to your desktop and start doing visualizations or analyticals or trying your machine learning algorithm, it doesn't solve my purpose, right? So that is the reason why before loading, it is always the best practice in your data science. Before loading the data into your desktop, first involve in some minimal transformation. How can you involve in some minimal transformations or data wrangling techniques, data transformation or data cleaning techniques? Just click on this transform data. When you click on this transform data, a new component called as Power Query Editor. Power Query Editor gets triggered. What is this Power Query Editor? It is a component of your Power BI which is used for your complex data transformation, data cleaning, or data wrangling activities. Everything is same basically. So your Power Query Editor is such a powerful tool in such a way that it is used or integrated in most of your tools in your data science. Okay, for example, if you're talking about machine learning classes, At that time also I will use your Power Query Editor. If I talk about your Azure Data Factory classes, at that time also I'll use your Power Query Editor, a very, very important component throughout your life cycle of your data science that you will be using. So now just instead of loading the data to your desktop, let me just click on transform data. So now see here Power Query Editor will be triggered. Now see here, this is your Power Query Editor window. A look and feel of your Power Query Editor. So this is your Power Query Editor. What I'm moving back side is your desktop. So now never I installed your Power Query Editor. So instead of that, I triggered your Power Query Editor from the desktop itself. I installed only the first component of your Power BI called Power BI Desktop. But I triggered your Power Query Editor internally, which is embedded inside your desktop. So this is your Power Query Editor. Okay, now you can see the differences. Okay, now this is the look and feel where all your tables, okay, in your desktop, whenever it got transferred to your Power Query Editor, they are called as a queries. They are called as a queries. That is the reason why it's called as a Power Query Editor. So when you want to edit the query or do some transformations on the queries, okay, so then that it's called as a Power Query Editor. Okay, so we have orders table, returns table, users table. Okay, just click on refresh. When you click refresh, it gets connected to your system. Fine. Now see here, let me involve in some transformations. Basically, a very minimal transformations, not at all a complex transformation. For example, I don't want your row idea. Okay, so what I can do, I can just go to the home option, then I can just remove the column. I do have manage columns, a very simple one click it will remove. Okay, get removed, that's it. Okay, so for example, if you want to change the data type, see here, you can just put a cursor here. Okay, just put a now you can change your data type to your whole number like that. Okay, so it becomes 0. So basically now see here, every step what you are doing is recorded here. See here, applied steps in the right side panel, you are able to see something called as applied steps. Every step is going to record here, right? Okay, so now recently you have changed the data type. That is the reason why it is telling change the type. Now what I want to do, I don't want to change the data type. Okay, so I want to go back and the previous data type. What I'll do, I'll just click on this into mark so that I'll be canceling. Now see here, I got my old data type. Okay, what is it? 1.2. It is a decimal number. So like this, if I don't want particular step to be executed, okay, then just I can use these applied steps and go back to that. Okay, so there is a very good feature in your Power Query data. Now, what are the other transformations I can do? So let me just get into your users table. Okay, now instead of using column 1 and column 2 as the names of the columns, what I'll do, I'll use your first row as a column headings. So select your first row. There is an option in your home tab, use first row as a headers. Just when you click on this, now see basically now it is giving some meaningful information. So this is a region column, this is a manager column. Who is the manager for this region? Chris is the manager for central region, Erin is the manager for eastern region, Sam is the manager for southern region. Now at the same time you're telling it is a manager information, but again the name of the the table is users table. Okay, so what I can do, instead of users I can mention is a manager. Okay, so just hit enter, that's it. Now see here, I change the name of the table, I changed the name of the columns. So this is a little bit transformations what we can do in your Power Query Editor. Even complex transformations can be done in your Power Query Editor. Okay, now here you can change the structure of your data model. See, I'll tell you what is data model. So basically I can change the structure. That is, I can add some columns or delete some columns. Just right click. Okay, just click on duplicate column. So a new column is added. Now I want to add this as a first name. Double click on this. So manage your first name. Okay, so then okay, hit enter. Then double click on this, manage your last name. Okay, so like this I can involve in some transformations, minimal transformations. Okay, so manage your last name. Okay, so now I can just even replace the values. Right click, just replace values. So Chris by so Jim. Okay, so like this I can even replace the values inside your cells of your tables. Okay, okay, so like this I can just replace the values and provide first name and last name. Okay, so now one thing you should remember here, whatever the changes you are doing for your queries in your Power Query Editor, it is not reflected. It is not reflected in your desktop. See here. Okay, just I'll minimize this Power Query Editor. Okay. Now see here, anything is loaded in your desktop. Nothing. Till now, nothing. Okay. So if you want the changes to be reflected, okay, on your desktop, what should I do? What should I do? See, very important, how you close your, how you exit from your Power Query Editor. We have three options. Go to the file. These are the three options how you can exit your Power Query Editor. So one is your close and apply. See, if you think that I'm enough with your transformations, I don't have any transformations to be done. Okay, so just I can close your tool, okay, and apply the transformation. What are the transformations I did in my Power Query Editor? I'll be applying to my desktop. This is the best option. Always we use this option. Suppose simply I don't want to close the tool, simply I want to apply the transformations, as I can do. Or I don't want to apply the transformations, just I want to close it once for all. I can do this also with the help of your close. So let me click on close and apply. Just click on close and apply. Now see here. Now the load data after transformation is getting loaded to your desktop. Now see here, it is getting loaded to your desktop. Something is happening in the data pane. It is loaded to the desktop. Okay, fine. Okay. So this is how we connect your Power BI, Power Query Editor, okay, to your source called Excel sheet. Okay. So where the data set has been stored, we extracted the data. Instead of loading the data directly to your desktop, what we do, we are involved in some data transformations. Then we loaded the data to your desktop. Now see here, where you are loading the data to desktop in your data pane. Now you are able to see the schema of the tables. Now see here, manager name. This is the column names. All these are schema of the tables. Okay, fine. So, but where you can see the actual data that is stored inside your table. Okay, in the table view, just click on your table view. Okay, you can see the actual data. This is the data that is stored in your manager. This is the data that is stored in your orders. This is the data that is stored in your returns. Okay, fine. So this is how basically I can explore the data inside your Power Query Editor. Now what we did basically, okay, we have introduced you to the two components. So one is your Power BI desktop, another is your Power Query Editor. So Power BI desktop is used to connect to the data sources. What is the data source we are using now? Excel that is stored in your local file, local system, right? We connected to the Excel that is stored in the local system. We extracted the data. We involved in some data transformation using Power Query Editor. Then we again loaded that into your data pane of your Power Query Editor. Okay, sorry, Power BI desktop. Now, we have introduced you to the two components. Now, let us just see what we did. Once we involved in some transformations, once we load the data, I call this data as a process data. What directly I can go for some visualization. I can visualize, I can get some insights what is present inside your data. So how can I get a business insights? For example, I want to know my sales with respect to my order data or order date. So what I can do, how can I visualize? I can use n number of visualization options in my visualization pane. I can visualize with n number of things. I can visualize with pie chart, donut chart, bar chart, column chart. So let me use my column chart. Okay. So just click on it. It gets added to your canvas. It gets added to your canvas. Then you can drag and just you can put wherever you want. Okay. So just put here. Fine. Now what I'll do, select the table. Okay. From where you want to, you have information. I have information, my sales information in the orders table. Just select it. This is your sales column. Just select your sales column, drag and drop to the what you call visualization object where you want to visualize the sales. Okay. Now I have drag and drop. Even see, if you don't want even drag and drop, also select your visualization. Just click on your what you call the column where you want to visualize. Just now I'm clicking on order date. Now I want to visualize my sales with respect to order date. Now this is my sales with respect to order date. Okay, fine. Now see here, I can just maximize it. I can minimize. Suppose if you want to go to get into focus mode, now I have something called as focus mode here. So I can view in a big picture. Okay. So now basically I can add some formatting options for this where I can just click on format for visual. Then I can enable data labels so that I can see some labels here. Now see here, I'm able to see what is the sales for 2010, what is the sales for 2011, 2012, 2013. This is my sales for different what you call years. So now what we did, we are able to get some business insights of your data that is stored in your Excel system. Yes or no? So this is nothing but your data science or data analytics. Okay, the same data can be given to a machine learning algorithm in a different way to train, to predict your sales in next coming future. That is, what is the sales in 2013? Now we know the sales in 2013. Now, what are the sales in 2014? Now, in your Power BI, basically, without getting into even machine learning concepts, we can predict it. Basically, just select the visualization. See, for all basically visualizations, you don't have any prediction options, but some visualizations Power BI has given a powerful feature of your predictive analytics. So when you just click on your line chart, so the complete visualization will be converted to a line chart. Okay. Now here you are able to see something called as future analysis. When you click on this, basically you have an option called forecast. This forecast option you don't have for every visualization. You have for line chart visualization and some other visualizations. Now see here it is able to forecast your sales. Now 2013 after 2013, what is my sales? You have upper bound, lower bound. Basically it can be increasing or decreasing. Okay, so like this you can predict your sales. Okay, this is how. Now what we did basically, uh, you know uh, we did we extracted the data with the help of your desktop, right? That is one of the activity of your desktop. Fine. Then before loading the data to your desktop, we involved in data transformations using your Power Query Editor. Okay, that is in Power. What is the activity of your Power Query Editor? To involve in data transformation. 99% of work of your Power Query Editor is to involve in data transformation only. Okay. Okay. Now, once we involve in data transformation, we loaded this data here in your desktop. Then once we loaded your desktop, what is another work of desktop? To visualize the data, basically to get some insights from your data using your analytics, basically. So I started doing analytics. Basically, I tried analyzing my sales, okay, with respect to order date, and also I tried analyzing my sales but the future also. So this is the thing what I can do with the help of these two components. Now tell me, we need to, what is this completely? Basically, we have now, let me get into your, we have three tables here, okay, manager table, order table. Now see here, when I select the canvas, no table is selected. So when I select this, visualization, now see here the table from which this visualization got created is selected. See, that is here, a tick mark is there in your orders table. So that is from this orders table, this visualization got selected. Now here, when you expand which columns they are using for the visualization, everything is selected here. This is how I can easily, in your real time, there are hundreds of table, which table is used for which visualization. How can you know? Basically, click on the visualization, automatically it will make you to get into the things. Now, basically, let me just switch out to my column chart. Okay. So now, basically, what is this filter pane? Basically, you can add some filters here. For example, I can add some filter called, I can add some filter called customer segment, where just I can drag and drop to a filter pane. Now see here, I can visualize my sales with respect to different customer segments. I want to visualize my sales. What is my sales for the corporate segment? Now see here, click on here. See, this is my sales in corporate segment. Now when I click on what you call home office, this is my sales. When I click on small business, this is my sales. So like this, basically I can use this filter pane. Okay. So in order to filter my data, Okay. So now this is about your different page in your desktop. Now, one thing you should remember, what about the views? We know about your table view, so we can view your table. Now, what is this data model view? Now, see here, okay, when you click on this data model view, each and every table in your model view is represented as a cards. So this is your written cards, this is your manager card, this is your order card. Now, see here, basically, this orders and manager table, they are related, they are interrelated with each other. Why? Because of a common column between these two tables. Here you have a region column in your manager table. Here also you have a region column. Basically, if you see your orders table, there is one column called region column. Okay, see here region column. Because of this region column, Power BI desktop has analyzed, basically it came to know that there is a common column called region in the both tables. Why can't I maintain certain relationship? Okay, that is nothing but, this is nothing but the relation. Automatically it has detected a relationship. Now this is one, this is asterisk, this is nothing but your one to many relationships. We'll discuss all these things in the data modeling classes in the future. Okay, so this is nothing but your basically data model. So what happens, data model is nothing but interconnection of different tables together having certain relationship with each other. Okay, it's nothing but your data model. So as a data scientist, you must be able to understand what is data model, how to create your data models, how to develop your data models, how to validate and how to optimize your data models. These are all different classes. where you can do all your data model operations, not on your desktop, in your Power Query Editor. Okay, so Power Query Editor is a tool, transformation tool, where we'll perform your data modeling techniques in future. Okay, fine. As of now, just you can view this is your data model. Now DAX and all. So basically, you do not worry about these DAX. Again, it is a big concept. We will discuss when we start about your DAX classes. Okay, fine. So basically, you can write some queries DAX to retrieve the data from this orders table basically. So do not worry about that. So now you got overall understanding of what you call two components. One is your Power Query Editor, another is your basically Power BI desktop. Now see, you loaded your data right to your desktop. Again, you think that there are some transformations involved. I want to get into your Power Query Editor. How can I trigger now? See, whenever you are loading at the time of loading the data, you can trigger your Power Query Editor by clicking on transform data, right? But already loaded, you transform the data, you loaded the data. Now again, you want to get into your Power Query Editor. How it is possible? In your home tab, you have something called as transform data. You are able to see something called as transform data here. Okay, so just click on this transform data. So obviously you will get into your Power Query Editor. Now see here again, Power Query Editor is triggered. Now again, you can do some what you call transformations. Okay, so let me just do some transformations. Okay, I don't want I don't want this status column in your basically returns table. So let me remove this. Okay, so let me remove this. Okay, now again, what should I do now? Click on close and apply. So when I click on close and apply, so the changes will get reflected in your Power BI desktop. Right. So basically now see here there is no status column here. Right. Now even you can control, for example, see because there is no status column, I don't have any information in your returns table. I don't want to show that in your visualization. So what I can do, I can get into your model view. I can just click on this. You are able to see something called as eyeball here. Just click on that eyeball. So just when you click on that eyeball, it gets hidden. So it gets hidden. Now go to your basically report view. Now see here you are not able to see the returns table. Like I can control the tables what you can view to your end user. Okay. Now the main problem here is whatever the things you are doing. Now what you did, you extracted your data set, you created your data models here. Okay. Now you created your visualizations, that reports, a simple report. I call it a report. Okay. And you have it now. You have a report. You have a data model here. Okay. So you have some filters. All these objects basically. All these objects are in a place called instance. What is that? Instance. This is nothing but your Power BI instance. All this completely it's called as a Power BI instance. Okay, so you need to save your Power BI instance. Unless or until you save your Power BI instance, you can't do any further activities. So how can you save your Power BI instance? In the top left corner, you have a save button. Click on your save. Okay, now you can save your Power BI instance. So say 7 a.m. batch. Okay, so Power BI. Okay, Power BI first class. Okay, so this is your name basically. Now see here, what is the basically like extension of this Power BI instance is .pbix. Is that .pbix? Because every component has its own extensions. So whenever you see a file of .pbix, immediately it should come into your mind that basically it is a Power BI instance. Suppose if you are getting something else RDL, this is nothing but report builder. There is a separate component in your Power BI. So every component will have your it's just different extensions. So this is your .pbx instance. PBX means Power BI instance. Okay, just click on save. Now, very important where it is going to be saved. Okay, this is very important. We'll discuss here. Now, basically now one disadvantage here, whatever the report you are viewing or whatever the data set you are viewing or whatever the data models you are having, okay, so all these are accessible to you only as a data scientist, because these two components, that is your Power BI desktop and Power Query Editor, are accessible only to the data scientist. They are not accessible to the outside world. Now, problem here is whenever you are working in your organization by using as a data scientist, basically using Power BI, basically Power BI is not only used by data scientists; it is used by n number of stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? Your managers, your vice presidents, your CEOs, your employees. Okay, n number of people in your organization, they'll be they're consuming the reports and information using your Power BI, yeah, directly or indirectly. Then how can I show these reports or data? Basically, I want to show the sales is going up and down. Basically, I want to give the information, ready-made information, live information to the end users of the organization. How can I show that? Basically, now I can't show this because I'm on the Power BI desktop. Okay, because desktop is a local it's a basically local component. I can only view that. Basically, that is the reason why, in order to show all these, basically, in order to give an access for these reports or my objects, we call it the Power BI objects. We will export all these objects which are stored in the instance, or in other words, we'll export this complete instance. We'll export this complete instance, okay, to some component called as Power BI Service Cloud. What is it? Power BI Service Cloud, which is the third important component of your Power BI, where I will export this complete instance. What is the meaning of this exporting complete instance? I'm exporting the reports. I'm exporting the basically data sets, data models, and filters, whatever I have. Okay, in my Power BI instance, these are called different objects in your Power BI instance. All these things I'll be exporting to cloud-based component called Power BI Service Cloud-based component. It is a SaaS-based component, software as service by your Microsoft, basically, which will run on the platform called Microsoft Fabric. It runs on the platform called Microsoft Fabric. So basically, your third component called Power BI Service, which is a cloud-based component, it runs on the platform called Microsoft, okay, Microsoft Fabric. What is this Microsoft Fabric? It is also a cloud-based component. It is a all-in-one integrated, powerful, analytical tool to develop your data science projects, to deploy your data science projects. So because it is a cloud-based component, okay, it is also your Power BI service is also a cloud-based component, basically. So in real time, we realize your Power BI only with the Fabric. So previously, your companies, they used to invest on Power BI as a separate software, but no more the companies are investing on Power BI as a separate software. Completely, they are migrating to the Microsoft Fabric. Why? Because your Power BI is running as one of the experience on your platform called Fabric. It is one of the component in your Fabric, actually. Fine. So there are many different experiences, or there are many components in your Fabric. For example, data engineering is one of the component. Your data science is one of the component. So your medical real-time analytics is one of the component. Data warehousing is one of the, like this. Power BI is also one of the component which comes under DNA department, data analytics department, which runs inside your Fabric. All these departments will be using a platform called, okay, Fabric. Okay, so Fabric, these things we'll discuss in the Fabric classes. I'll introduce you tomorrow what is Fabric, all these things. Okay, don't need to worry about that. So, but one thing you understand that, okay, so you have a third component called as Power BI Service Cloud, which is a cloud-based component of your Power BI. It's the third component of Power BI, which can be triggered with the help of your desktop itself. Okay, fine. Now, basically, now you have saved your desktops here. This is your name. Now, let me just publish or export your instance to the cloud. How can I publish or export the instance to the cloud? You are able to see something called as publish button here in your desktop. Okay, just click on this publish. Okay, so when you click on publish, it is asking, do you want to save the desktop? Yes, every time I want to save the desktop before I publish. Now see here, a very important concept here. It is asking you, where should I store? See, you are telling that, you want to export all your Power BI objects, what you developed in your instance, to your Power BI Service Cloud, which is a cloud-based component. Basically, in that cloud-based component, I have many memory locations, what are called as workspaces. Okay, memory locations in your cloud-based component, memory locations in your cloud-based components are called as workspaces. Okay, we have different workspace in your Power BI service. Which workspace I should store your objects? It is asking me, but I don't have any workspace of my own because I didn't created any workspace. If you don't have any place to sit in your company, there is separate place called bench. Yes or no? So where you go and sit there. you don't have laptop, you don't have place, you don't have name board. Basically, it is a common area basically. So here also the same thing. We have something called as my workspace. Okay, so my workspace is a common workspace, a default workspace. Workspace means a memory location basically in your cloud. Okay, where I can store all my objects here. Okay, of my instance. Okay, in future, what we do, we create a separate workspace with a name. For example, here Narasimha workspace, Prasanna workspace, Surya workspace, basically. So basically, we create separate workspace on your name as a whole for a particular batch. Then we'll start storing all that objects only in that workspace, basically. Okay. So basically, now as of now, we don't have any separate workspace or a memory location on your cloud. What we do, we select a common workspace called my workspace, select it, click on select. Now it started exporting your instance to your cloud and storing your instance objects in your something called as my workspace. Now it is success. So if you get failure, there is an issue. Now it is a success. Now you are telling that you have published or you exported your what do you call instances, okay, a Power BI instance or a Power BI objects to the cloud. But how can I view that? Now still I'm in a desktop. I didn't enter into my cloud component. See, there are different ways to enter into your cloud component. Directly, you can click on this where you can get into your report. You can open your report on the cloud. But never I do like this, okay, because I get less exposure. Click on got it. Click on got it. Fine. So now what I'll do, there is another option for me to get into your cloud. So you are able to see your account right here. Okay. You are able to see in the account top left corner. Click on your account. Click on your account. Power BI Desktop has an option directly to get into your Service Cloud component. Now here you have something called as Power BI service. Just click on this Power BI service. Now see here, web-based, basically a cloud-based application called Power BI Service Cloud, okay, has been opened in a separate window by connecting to the server. Now this is no more in the desktop application. It is a cloud-based application. You can see the URL. See here, you can see the URL. Okay, it is separately. It is connected to the server and it is separately open in the separate page. Now see here, it's a web page basically. So this is nothing but your service cloud, Power BI service cloud environment. You can feel user interface where, see here, many of your friends has published their works. Okay, publish their reports, publish their different Power BI objects. Okay, now see here, where is your workspace? In the left, how can you identify where is your workspace? In the left pan, in this pane, you are able to see something called as workspaces. Okay, just click on this workspaces. You can able to see my workspace here in the first here itself. Your my workspace. These are all. Don't worry about these workspaces. These are all your friends' workspace. They created separately. We will also create one workspace in the very near future. Okay. Workspace is a very big concept in your data science. Don't worry about that. We'll take separate classes on your workspace. Okay. So I can say it is a parent of your data science because not only your report or not only your Power BI objects like your report, all these things we store all your data science objects in your workspace. We store your machine learning models, we store your deep learning models, we store your data pipelines, and number of things we store in your workspace. That is the reason why it is a very, I can say it is a very important concept. A lot of interview questions will be there on your only on workspace in your data science. So as of now, understand the workspace is a memory location in your Power BI service cloud to store some Power BI reports. That's it. Okay, just click on your workspace. Click on your workspace. Now you can visualize. You can just view basically your what you call Power BI instance files. So now basically, how can I identify? There are many instances names. One thing is you need to scroll on. One thing you need to scroll on, or you can just check here. Okay, search here some 7 a.m. like that. See here. Okay, 7 a.m. So you have stored. You need to identify basically with the help of your what do you call name of your instance. Okay, so where you have stored. So what is the name of your instance? Do you remember what is the name of your instance? 7 a.m. batch PBIX. So let me check. Okay, so go to your Power BI. So 7 a.m. batch. Uh, so, let me check because generally it will be in your alphabetical orders, but you have saved with numeric, like 7 a.m. Okay, it has changed this location. So basically, this is an issue when you store your file on your My Workspace, because there are many instances stored. You need to search where your instance has been stored. Okay, this is the main problem. Okay, don't worry. Just let me check here. 7 a.m. Oh, so let me just filter out even 1 minute. So I need only reports. Very funny. You are not able to see your what do you call instance, what you have uploaded. Just let me check once. So it's fine. Refresh.
Ritwik, that cloud was on name of Samir. I think it should be on name of some different, right? That
1 minute. So let me just yeah, see here.
it is Ritwik.
Yes, it's very good. See, in your desktop, basically you have entered as a info@upslow.com, right? Okay, but thing is that the cloud, see, whenever you see all your work you created with this account, basically, when you export, okay, when you export to your Power BI Service Cloud, you should open this account only. Then only you can see your objects. Now, what we are doing, okay, it's good that what happened. So we learned this, okay. So what we are doing, we have opened your Power BI service with a Samir account, okay.
Right.
So that is the reason why you are not able to see the objects. Yes or no, right? Now just click on sign out. Click on sign out, okay. So now just again, what you call close it. Now go to your what you call Power BI service. Okay. So now it is asking me info. Yeah. Now I'll choose it. Click on sign in. Now you can view your what you call basically uh, go to your My Workspace. Okay. Directly here also you can have a My Workspace shortcut. Click on My Workspace. Okay. So now you can able to see. Now see here you are able to see your instances 7 a.m. batch PBIX class. Okay. Now see here, whenever you export your basically your Power BI instance, okay, from the desktop, always by default two files will be exported. One is your report, okay, which is what you call identify with the bar chart image like this, bar chart image like this. Another is your data set, okay, which is identified by the 5 dots like this. Generally, data sets in your cloud that are stored in a cloud, they are called as a semantic models. They are called as a semantic models. So that issue is very important here. Whenever you export or publish your instance to your Power BI Service Cloud, two files, by default it gets exported. So one is your report, another is your semantic model. What is a semantic model? They are nothing but a data set. They are nothing but a data models basically. So which got exported to your Power BI service. Okay, so very simple. Whenever the data models that are stored on your cloud, they are called as a semantic models. Very simple. So what is the advantage of the semantic models? See, basically, like these are available on the clouds. There are many advantages of connecting your Power BI desktop directly to the semantic models. Okay, so that we will discuss in the next classes. On the concept is called direct query concept. We'll discuss in the next classes. See what we did today. I mean, what we did today, we connected your desktop to the local system, right? A file in the local system, a data set to the local system. But in general, in your real time, we always connect your desktop to the semantic models. Okay, fine. That is a file in the cloud actually. Fine. So we upload all the data sets. We open your first. We open your for your information. 99% of your work will happen only on your cloud in real time. Never we use your Power BI desktop for your information. So we open your Power BI service cloud. We load all your data sets. then we correct your desktop, or directly here only we can generate your reports. Everything we can do here only. Okay, no need to open your desktop also. That I will show you in next future classes. Now, one thing you remember here, whenever you export your basically instance, two files, is getting exported. So one is your report, another is your semantic model, that is your data model. Right? So this is very important. Fine. Now, how can I access my report? How can I view my report on the cloud? Okay, just click on this. Okay. Now here you are able to view your report on the cloud. Now this is your cloud-based environment. What I'm moving backside is your desktop environment. Now this is available for your stakeholders. Now how can I make available? Now see here, I can export to your PDF or PowerPoint, or I can basically generate print this page, or manage permissions, save this copy. I can chat. I can basically share this using your Teams, Microsoft Teams. I can share this. For example, if I have some Kamal at apshara.com, yes, I can do that. Send, so obviously, so basically, an email would have been go to the Kamal. So telling that basically open this report. Fine. So like that, I can share this basically. So even I can generate QR code. Okay. So where if you scan with your mobile, you can scan with your mobile Google Sense, automatically it will ask you to install Power BI in your mobile, and you can view. For example, if you're CEO of the company, basically you want to view your business on the mobile only. These are very important. Fine. So like this, I can share. But in general, we won't do like this in real time. We create something called as apps. Okay. So apps, okay, where we bundle all your reports and share that apps. Okay. Now this is a report what you are seeing on the cloud basically. Okay. Now why can't we generate the same reports or edit the reports on your cloud? So should we use always desktop? No. Basically, you have an option to edit your reports or create your reports on your cloud environment directly, just with the option called edit. Okay. Now just click on edit. When you click on edit, now see here, automatically, the look and feel of your Power BI Service Cloud is converted into desktop. Now both became same. See here, your Power BI Service Cloud is like your desktop. You have visualization pane, here also visualization. You have data pane, here also data. Filter, everything is same. If that is the case, why can't I create or generate your reports here only? I can do that. Now, basically, again, what I can do, I can add something called as a pie chart visualization. So whenever you are adding a visualization, be sure that, okay, please select your canvas. Otherwise, what happens when you select your visualization, again, add another visualization, it gets replaced like this. So basically, don't do like that. Okay. So basically, just select your canvas, then add your visualization pie chart. Then I can go to your order, then sales with respect to customer segment. So I want to visualize my sales with respect to customer segment. So this is my sales with respect to customer segment. Okay. Now I had two kinds of visualizations here, but whatever the changes I did here, it is not reflected in my desktop. Reverse engineering is not possible here. Why? Because no connection between your cloud or desktop. There is no connection. Once you export your objects to your cloud, that is connection is broken. That's it. Fine. So now there is no connection. That is the reason why reverse engineering is not possible. Okay, whatever you are editing here, or adding new visualization or deleting new old visualizations, that is not reflected in your desktop. That you should remember. But whatever the changes you are doing on your desktop, that can be viewed in your service. I'll show you. Okay, again you need to republish again. Fine. So now see here, basically now how can I save this? Click on file, click on save. That's it. I save now. That's it. Okay, fine. So like this, I can do it again. I did not publish here because it is already in the cloud. It is already in the cloud. This information is accessed by n number of your stakeholders, and I can view your basically, I can view a report in the mobile view also. Okay, so like this, if you are using mobile, you can view, or you can go to your desktop view also. Right. So this is how basically I can visualize my data using a Power BI Service Cloud, which is the third component, very, very, very powerful component in your data science. Basically, most of my 99% of your work of your data science will be done on your Power BI Service Cloud, which runs on your Fabric platform. Okay. See why I'm telling it the Fabric platform? Why? Because just observe, whenever I trigger your Power BI service like this, okay. So now see here, a Fabric symbol is opening. Now see here, first, again, it is very, very fast. It is just give you some time. Okay, so now what I'll do again, I'll minimize, I'll trigger your Power BI service. Now see here, I'll click on your Power BI service. Now see here immediately Fabric, Microsoft Fabric is coming here. Then Power BI. First Microsoft Fabric will open. Okay. Then after some time Power BI. Even the logo changes from Fabric to Power BI. What did you understood by that? That is, whenever you are triggering your Power BI Service Cloud, you are triggering your Fabric component, Fabric platform. First Fabric platform will be opened. Okay. First Fabric platform will be opened. Okay. Then, okay. So on that, okay, on that Fabric platform, okay. So your what you call Power BI Service Cloud will be triggered basically. That is, Power BI Service Cloud is one of the component in your Fabric basically. Okay. So just I'm introducing all these things now itself so that you feel comfortable when I'm starting your Fabric classes. So hope you understand today's class. So this is a very important is third component of your Power BI. Now basically if you want you can minimize it or you can close it again. You can close it again. You can trigger your what do you call it? If you want to close it, you can close it. Okay, or minimize it. Minimize it. Now see here. Now I want to do some changes in your report from your desktop. So what I will do, I want to convert this into segment chart. For example, donut chart. So I converted it. But even I saved this. See here, I saved it. But this is not going to affect your what do you call report in your cloud actually. See here, even though I refresh, even though I refresh, stay on page. Even though I refresh, it is not going to affect my cloud. Okay, fine. This is not going to affect my cloud. I'm refreshing, but it is not connecting to your desktop because there is no connection basically. So this is the disadvantage. That is the reason why we never develop your reports on your or visualizations on your desktop. We depend only on your Power BI Service Cloud because it is directly getting to the customers. Now, if you want to do that again, what to do? Again, I need to go. Again, I need to publish this instance. So whenever I publish this instance, again select your workspace, click on select. It will tell that already this instance is there. Do you want to replace it? Yes, I want to replace it in your workspace. Click on replace. Okay, every time I need to publish, every time I need to replace. There only it gets published. Otherwise, they are now here itself. Now this time let me click on this directly. I'll go to the report. So now see here basically. Okay, so now I'm getting a report. Fine. So now it is getting published. Now see here it is getting published. Okay, so this is the now even let me refresh this. Now see here it gets completely replaced by the single report. That's it. So completely it is published. I mean it is replaced. Okay, so like this you can do. Again you can go and edit. Again basically you can start creating your new visualization. Okay, so add your new visualization. Fine. So 1 minute. So click on your canvas. So click on your new visualization and do the things. So basically should refresh. Okay, so click on edit. So add your new visualization, the column chart. So you can analyze your sales with respect to order page. So like this, basically, I can what you called use the functionality of your Power BI Service Cloud. Right? So any queries here till now? So in today's class, basically we introduced about your three components of your Power BI service. One is your desktop, okay, then your Power Query Editor, then your Power BI Service Cloud. Every component is interrelated to each other or depending on each other for a one or more purpose. Your desktop depends on your Power Query Editor for the transformation, okay. So and your Power BI service. So these Power BI desktop is also depends upon your Power BI Service Cloud to export your files, basically to store your files, basically to view the cloud environment, basically. Fine. So this is that is every component in your Power BI service has its own work to do, basically. Fine, which is a very powerful component. Power BI Service Cloud. Cloud component is a very powerful component which you will be using all your future works. Fine. Okay. So this is the thing what you need to discuss. So in tomorrow's class, we'll go ahead, we'll spend some time, we'll try to introduce about your fabric. So a number of things, so that you become comfortable. Fine. Okay. But still, this is not the way you do in a real time. Basically, again, a number of things are there. This is the basics what we are teaching for you. Fine.
Okay, Rutvi, so the question is, to play around. Say now we've done with the class, the entire day. Probably if we want to play around with whatever we have learned,
Yeah.
how do we get an access to Excel sheets and all of that? Do we have to create it on ourselves,
No.
or do we have something already?
Yeah. See,
there?
something we have already, don't worry about that. See, basically, we have a data set. See, basically, we have the files, okay?
Mhm.
Power BI files. So in your drive, okay, what we'll do. So basically, just we have created one drive for you, right? Okay. So for example, we have created one drive for Shake, right?
Mhm.
So in this drive only, we'll upload all the things. Okay, one recording is uploaded. We'll upload all your Power BI files, everything basically. So it will be like this basically. If I open some other student card, okay, basically now this is your first semester. Here we have pre-recorded sessions and day-to-day recorded sessions. Okay, in day-to-day recorded sessions, here you have a Python files, all these things. Okay, so
Okay.
like you have Power BI files. Okay, so in a pre-record Power BI live classes. Okay, all these are Power BI live classes. Already it is done. Basically, there are a number of lengthy videos. At your own pace, you can go through it. Then you have Power BI related files here. Okay, so this is your Power BI. See here sample superstore data. All this you can see here. Okay, find sample superstore. You can download it. Fine, you can get it.
Okay.
Fine. Even if you want to use your own data, also you can use. I'll tell you how to use it. Okay, there are a number of textbooks here. Okay, all these things. We will do it. Mr. Samir,
Okay.
will give the access for everything.
Sure. Thank you.
Fine, guys. Thank you so much. See you in the next class by tomorrow. Don't miss the classes by tomorrow because these are all very, very important classes. So once you gain pickup, once you gain some knowledge, again, if you miss one class also, you can go through the recordings. That is not a problem. But initial classes are very, very important. Fine.
Sure.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.